date is September 24th, 2018, time is 6 o'clock, and I'd like to bring to order the meeting of the Douglas Board of Health. First item on the agenda is the health agent update. Corey?
Yeah, so we've, Kevin Coos, we're working closely with, our Arnold Street resident. We're getting there. I think, Larry and I are gonna go down this week and, do a full inspection. I was there over the weekend. And I think Larry and I will go down and do a full inspection of the entire property, not just the corner we've been working on. There's progress. It's, tremendously slow. Not as much progress as you would think in the year that we've been, closely, dealing with them. It's been some progress, not as much as we would like. So I think Larry and I are gonna go down and talk to him and try to come up with maybe a slightly better solution than just picking away at it. 'Cause picking away at it seems to be, it's gonna be 20 years before we pick our way through that place. I mean,
That'll never get finished.
it's right. It's just not enough of a priority. Like I told him the other day, he's got so much value in the things that are all over the place. He needs to just get rid of things, cause it's all, the longer it sits, I told him, like, all this stuff, the tractor over there 10 years ago was worth something, now it's scrap, right? I mean, and that's how the things are going. The longer they sit, they go from valuable to worth scrap or nothing, and becomes trash, essentially. So we're gonna work with him a little bit more, but he is working.
Are we making progress at all? Are we losing grounds in other areas as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very slow progress. It's the equivalent of cleaning your room once a week. I mean, it's just, you got a whole house, but you only, clean the same room every week. It's, and the rest of the house, you never touch, it's just, we're just still in the same spot, and we're not really progressing too far. That one spot looks really good, I told him. But it's, it's a 30 by 40 foot area, and you're talking 4 or 5 acres, so, it's a one corner of a property. And then, our other friends on Arch Street, I had sent out an email.
Before you leave that one, didn't you talk about possibility of doing something about the dumpster?
This is a different resident,
Oh, okay.
different resident, that's the one I'm bringing up now.
Alright.
So I had sent out an email posing, kind of shooting just the idea out there to get you guys thinking about, some possible solutions, with our Arch Street friends. They have a problem over there, they've got all these, sort of little violations going on, and then they've got this compounded problem of all this garbage. They've got a whole room piled with garbage. They've got exterior garbage, they've got bags of garbage and just everywhere, and really no means by which to remove it. I mean, they're obviously financially strapped, so to speak. And then I went down in the basement, it was looking better, so they began the cleanup of the basement. He did contact me after the last meeting. So I went there and inspected. And it, the basement it was making some progress. However, while he was ripping stuff apart and trying to clean it up, he found even more broken floor joists than we thought. Total of 12 broken floor joists. So we added a header underneath them. They're 2x10s. He told me he was gonna slide in some 2x8s next to them, cause he could fit those, shorten the span to like only an 8-foot span or a 6-foot span. So the 2x8s would be sufficient to carry it. But there's no way you're gonna shove a 2x10 in there. You'd have to jack up the whole house. But the problem is the weight in that room above it. There's 4 or 5 foot high piles of garbage. So the idea came up, and that's what I emailed out to everybody to get thinking about, was the possibility of offering them a short-term sticker, essentially, versus the 6 months. Mostly because I don't see them as coming in and paying for a 6-month. I mean, I'm pretty sure the financial situation isn't conducive to a $100 bill at one shot, but I think offering them 1 month. I didn't know in the past we had done a 1 day with them years ago before I joined, and that doesn't seem advantageous to them either. That I think offering them a discounted 1 month.
No, I wouldn't discount it.
No, well.
I'd make them pay $20 a month.
Divide by, right.
And that's what I said in writing, should be $20 a month,
Yeah, I like that.
and let them go that way.
And we'll give them a 1
And they'd
month.
have to approach the attendants up there every time they come in, show them the letter to see that it's still current,
Within the month,
you
yeah.
know? I mean, that's,
Yeah.
I don't think we should go beyond that with them,
I
you know?
don't, yeah.
No, and hopefully, you know,
That's
that's a pretty, good leap for us, that's a pretty nice thing, I think, that's definitely within reason.
Mhm.
$20 is not a lot,
Right.
to ask, and they would have an entire month to, now granted, they may wait till the 28th day, but that would give them the opportunity to dispose of a lot of the rubbish that they've accumulated, over, I don't even know how many years, but,
And it might also give them an incentive. If you got
it
one
may,
month.
it
Get
may,
it done in a
and
month, let's get this out of here.
the weather's
Well,
closing, so this, you know, the gap, which is why I messaged it out via email, was just sort of to get the ball rolling, because, you know, if we had tabled the discussion this meeting and it went on to November, now we're into colder weather, and, the simple, them cleaning out their basement in colder weather is something that's probably not gonna continue as aggressively.
And I don't think this should be a forever thing. I think we'll say we'll do it for 3 months, or we'll do it for 4 months, and then it's all done.
Done.
You know, because I think you'd be setting up too much of a precedence for somebody else to be saying the
I
same.
agree with
you
that,
know?
yes.
I can't come up with $100, can I?
Yeah, do the same you did it for him, why can't you do it for me?
I mean, I think we just do
Yeah.
it for 1
So-
month, come December, it's gonna be too cold, I don't
Do
see
it.
them, as soon as the snow flies, they're not
Mhm.
gonna be cleaning stuff out as much, you know, so I think,
Yeah,
this month of October will be a good incentive. I think they'll probably, you know, this is sorta your last month of decent weather to be able to really do some, I mean, you might get November, but
Yeah,
now it's 40 degrees out instead of 50 or 60.
yeah, well, whatever the board wants, you wanna do it for a month, or 2 months, or whatever you say, but there's gotta be an
yeah,
end to it.
yeah, I agree with that. This can't be open-ended.
Yeah.
So that was a suggestion that
Maybe,
came up.
maybe a 2 month, like October, November, I think it's, the weather, like you said, the weather's good. If that wouldn't be, I think that's time enough where,
Yeah,
If
we
they're
give them that.
serious and they really wanna do it, then
Yeah.
Yes.
that would show initiative and that would be ample time, I think, to get some serious cleaning done.
yes, should be.
You know, if you're really gonna buckle down and do it, I
Mhm.
mean, you know, and when you have a project, sometimes you just get home from work and you work, you know,
Yes,
I mean, that's.
correct, get down to it.
So, yeah, so that was the idea that came up.
Do you need a motion to that effect?
Well, we need a motion for that, do we? I wouldn't think so, for that.
If everybody's in favor, then I'll call them this week and try to set that up with him and hopefully he can come down and get a letter.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Alright. That's it, besides that, there's really no new business going on.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Corey.
Yep, absolutely.
Next item on the agenda we have is Oktoberfest. Okay, Lisa.
Yes, so just recently we were contacted by a lady, she's a volunteer, and she works for MRC, this is like Medical Reserve Corps. And this is like it's not new agency, but they're just starting to cover Douglas and the surrounding towns. And we have a little description of the agency, what they are doing, like here, just to give you a little overview. So I can give you like here, you can quickly take a look. And it doesn't cost us a penny, because they do this, it's state funded. So they work together with Red Cross and police and local health, Board of Health. And their goal is to help towns to organize like first respond team. Like in the case of disaster, the team is made of residents
Yes,
who who have medical field, but also those who just are interested in helping. So we would like to ask the board to set the booth at the Oktoberfest, provide the residents of Douglas with some informations, like we have little brochures for seniors, like it's all about safety and disaster preparedness, and we have some stuff for kids, you know, like they send us the books and everything is like I said, we don't have to pay for it, and everything is like so nice. And we also were recommended to make like little information sheets, asking people who would like to
often
get
volunteer.
involved, yes, if they could give us like informations. And after we collect very general informations, from them to just, then we can select, like people who can be like in specific teams, like whatever what we need, like.
Yes,
So that would be the best way to reach the residents, because we're not gonna walk from house to house, they're not gonna come to us when we invite them. So we would decide that, we'll be like talking to people, maybe have some sign encouraging the residents to come and explain a little bit what we are doing. This is nothing political, we are just trying to help the town. And the lady, she's also a nurse, she's a volunteer for this agency, she's willing to come and be with us at the booth to help us, talk
Is she
to
local?
residents. She's from Douglas.
She is.
Always lived in Douglas. She's getting her master's degree in nursing from one of in Worcester State, I think. That's her I believe it's one of her projects.
for projects.
So we have different literature she sent us, and so we can provide this to the residents and just be there, try to.
Would you put some of these down the senior center?
We could,
These things?
yes.
Because I don't know how many,
Mhm.
those people that hobble into that place that would be able to go up and down the street,
Yes,
you know?
yes, definitely, I can drop some off, because I have a whole box of
Yeah, good.
these, and we have a box for kids, which would be nice, encouraging
Yes.
families to come and get something little
Sounds good.
freebies.
I like that idea,
Yeah, very good.
I think that,
So we
yeah.
already made some pre-arrangements,
For booth?
to see if the booth, because we have to talk, but we
Yes.
of course want your permission, we won't do anything with, okay from you guys.
I'm all on board with that, that sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Is there any cost to the town?
No?
If it's free, it's
We are
free.
all volunteering, we are volunteering, and also the lady who's helping us volunteers, and publications are free. The cost only, we had to print it, we printed the, information
form,
sheets,
yeah.
this is the cost that we have.
Everything else, we ordered tons of literature for free.
Yes, and we have
Good.
we have even little cloth, bags, they send us 50 of these or 70 of these, so we can even provide little souvenirs
Yes,
for those who sign up.
people, yes. Set them to sign up.
If there's no cost to the town, who's paying for all this?
It's a grant from the state,
The state's being.
yes.
So I
State is
had
paying.
spoken to the fire department
So
too,
if
because I
we
didn't know
don't
if
use
they
it,
had anything.
Someone else will
Also,
use it. If we don't take advantage of that, we'll go to
But I think this is a worthwhile endeavor.
And they reach out to us, they will, because
Yes.
Like the fire
they
department had
extended,
this volunteers, but they're all working on
like
this
they
now
divided,
too,
I
so
think,
they
from
might
Worcester,
come.
Mhm.
and there's
I
another,
talked to one of the guys,
like
Nick, and he
Grafton
might
and
come.
Surrounding Towns that,
They might stand up
covered
with
by
us.
different
They're a
Yes.
little bit more knowledgeable.
agencies, like the same agency, but
Oh,
they
that'd be
divided
great.
the smaller one,
That
smaller
might-
offices, so.
Give people incentive to stop too.
Right, I mean, all these disasters that are happening.
Awareness,
What do you-
firefighter
Like, she was
traffic.
making very good, the nurse came here, can't think of her name, Diane.
Yeah.
Who do you call? So say you have someone at their house and they can't get to the shelter, who's gonna pick them up?
Mhm.
We have nothing, I mean, I'm sure there's some type of plan.
Yes, she said
We would hope, but I wouldn't
I
know.
mean, I don't
on
know,
the paper, but we have to, after
animals,
recent
the animals.
tornadoes, we
right,
need to
Mhm.
be more specific when it comes to that.
So this came up under Oktoberfest, does that mean we're gonna hand out literature or something?
That's what this is, but yes.
It was just, she came, 2 weeks ago,
Yeah, it was,
and we started brainstorming, like, how can we get this to residents?
How can we
And then we're
reach
like,
them?
Oktoberfest is coming. Perfect.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for a better time to do it.
It's true. Yeah, we got a good, she got good turnout
we
at
don't have
Oktoberfest,
any
and a lot of
updated
people.
lists of volunteers, we don't have anything, we have some nurses, medical staff, but it's from
That's
long
an
ago.
old
We
list,
don't even
yeah.
know who is living there or
Still.
not.
So we need to update everything.
Yes,
Mhm. Good, yes,
okay, thank
I
you.
like that. Thank you. We all set with that?
Yep.
All right. Move to the third item on the agenda is the transfer station discussion.
So,
Bob wanted to talk with you.
yeah, he did. He
So he said
he might
he'd be
come in
late.
So,
maybe late,
So
but I did wanna mention that Jean is gonna be doing an audit up there. The auditors asked her to audit she audited the Board of Health one, she audits all the different departments.
Yeah,
And this year it's the transfer station, so her and I will be going up there tomorrow. And she just wants to make sure everything's up to par as far as
Okay.
financial.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
just so you know.
Just that and Bob's.
Oh, Bob, did you
Bob.
get his email?
Yeah, I saw that. Did see that.
Did you get this, Joe?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna just put that. We'll continue this discussion while I get here then.
Okay.
That's the only other item.
Yeah.
You had to mention transportation, okay. Now we can move on to tire day. Okay, it's that time of year.
So I called, Bob's Tire and got the new list,
New price lists,
price list, which it doesn't
Okay.
look like anything's changed. So it's about the same as last year.
It does.
Yeah,
pressure tires, yep.
yeah, I don't think nothing's changed.
Now, we usually have just,
Did we add?
do we add?
We did.
This is open to all residents, correct, dropping the tires off? Is it just transfer station sticker holders?
I think anybody should come
Yeah,
in, rather than having them throw it
Throw
on
it,
the side of the
exactly,
road.
that's what I'm thinking too, if you,
Yeah.
people are paying, and we're not, it's not costing us any, so if they're paying their fee,
Right.
Yep. Then I think, yeah, it's open to anybody,
agree.
the tires are. I would think we work well
I would agree,
with
sticker
anybody
or
in there.
not, if they're just doing tires.
just
I mean, we're
tires.
not taking trash, but if they're
Correct.
just taking tires,
Just tires.
right.
So,
So should we direct them to come into that new gate then, rather than coming through the transfer station?
maybe we should have a, yeah, maybe
It's
we
not a
should
bad
have
idea.
maybe assigned tires only entry, I don't know if that could be arranged,
Tire only entry or something.
Tires and
Tire
have the
only.
arrow
yeah.
pointing down, and otherwise, the guys that are on duty up there are gonna be stopping.
Oh, yeah, that'd be,
Gonna be in the middle of,
that could be, yeah,
yeah.
trying to figure out, okay, so you're sticker, what are you doing here, yeah.
Can we do that? And, I mean, we can reuse the sign like that every year for next 20 years. Could have a sign made that says tires
Yeah,
with an arrow.
Yeah, if
that
that,
way.
if that works out, I think that's something be worth doing from now on, that makes sense, I like the idea of having it
Yeah,
open to everybody
I
in
do too.
town. And that's, like I said, the idea here is to keep them off the streets and people
Right.
throwing them off the side of the street somewhere.
Right.
so
Give a place to-
we'd say what, tires, the third gate, cause that would be the third gate down.
Yes. Yeah, entry only for, that's
Yeah,
what we've
yeah.
been still stacking them over there,
So
Yeah.
put it at the first gate with an arrow?
Yeah,
to third gate entry, and then another sign down there,
Tires. yeah.
tire,
Just a
Tire
big
disposal.
sign.
disposal.
Tires.
tire
right.
disposal, third gate.
Once you get 3 or 4 of them, people will maybe
Yeah,
notice. I mean,
just know people who are coming with just tires don't enter where everybody else enters,
Yeah,
Exactly, yep.
so a sign there.
sounds good.
And then what's, so tires, third gate with an arrow, and then tires,
Then another, the tire,
drop off or tire?
drop off disposal, whatever you
disposal?
call it.
Short and sweet. Tire
Yeah,
drop
like
off.
2 words.
Yeah, drop off sounds good.
Tire drop.
Drop off, that sounds good, yes.
That's true.
They just get thrown in there, or they go in a dumpster?
No, we have to
or-
count them and.
Yeah, I think it's like a pile, we throw into a big pile, and the guys who collect money for, you know, somebody drives in there.
And then this place here comes and takes them away.
Yeah,
Yes.
Joe's Tire is correct, at the end of
Bob's.
the time frame that we have, 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it is,
Yeah.
that we have it open for tires to be dropped off. At the end of that time, Kristen will call Joe's Tire and,
Bob's.
yes.
Would it be easy if they put them where they did all in the past on the hard top? If they drive around and park them and then go out, then, because you'll have people trying to enter the third gate.
Is that,
The
we've
third
been,
gate,
we've been disposing them on the hot top before?
yes.
I thought we were in the field.
I
No.
remember.
Now that they got the extension on the hot top, we'll put it there because it's easier. We can stack them without falling and the truck come right there, pick them up.
I don't remember that.
That was the field before.
It's now hot, well, I haven't been down there in a while.
I'll be
That
down
area.
there. Tomorrow's raining, but I'll be down there Thursday.
Well, you can look at that, Corey, and just, because I'm not picturing that at the top of my head. It's been a
You-
while since I've been down there
Yeah,
on that
I'll
area of
be
the,
Thursday.
Corey,
I'm up top.
you know what I mean? Right to the right side of the can bin.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's where you guys been putting them, yeah, I'll take a look at that third gate. 'cause
Yeah,
again, I
cause
think
it'd be a lot safer than having somebody try to come in another gate.
it is,
Would,
agreed, but if we're opening up to the people, we don't want
It's gonna be creating a lot of traffic.
I think so.
people. I'll take a look at it
Yeah,
and I'll get
try to
back.
figure out,
When is tire day?
We have to make that decision.
yeah, that's part of it.
Alright, yeah, I'll take a look at it Thursday.
Probably like, what, last 2 weeks of
Yeah,
October,
we should do that in the first week.
end of
November.
October, beginning of November,
Okay.
So maybe like the 22nd
start on the
or 23rd.
of October through the first week in November, through the, well, that's just 2 full weeks, right?
Oh, wait, that's right, but we're doing it for a week, not for a day like
3
we
weeks.
used to.
Yes, not 1
3
day
weeks.
anymore, so we're not, haven't been up there.
No, so it'll be the 3 days then, the
Yeah.
Tuesday, Thursday,
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Has that worked out better? I mean, opening a longer, are we getting more tires, or are we getting people, any input from the public back on how
I've
that's
had
working out?
people all summer wanna know when they're gonna pick tires.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Or you can make it shorter. I don't know why it
Yeah,
ended up
I
being
don't know
3
why it's
weeks.
gonna be 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think so either, it's probably just let them sit there.
I mean,
let
1
it
week
get
is
rained
good.
on and get,
Right.
I think
Water
1
on the
week can
tires.
cover everybody, cause people come Tuesday, some people come Thursday, some people come Saturday, so. I think if you do it for a week, hey Bob, boy, I think if you do it for a week, you,
Oh, okay,
um,
thank you.
week's fine? Yeah, okay, I mean, I don't have a problem with that, if that. What have we been doing, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month?
2
3
weeks.
I don't think 3 weeks,
I
I
don't think we need 3 weeks.
no, that seems a
Wanna
little.
go 2? We'll go 2.
Two's good too, I mean.
think 2's okay, to compromise right now,
Yeah.
see how that works out.
So do the
Let's just-
23rd.
Yeah, the last two,
Last 2 weeks, yeah, as
the
long
last
as
two,
it's
so,
easy to say.
the
easy for
23rd
people
through the
to remember.
3rd,
Yeah,
October, November,
yeah.
Okay.
let's do that. Do we have issues, was it a year or 2 ago with rain?
Not picking it up. No,
They didn't
this
pick it
is
up.
Bob's
Yeah.
That was even longer, that was Bob, well,
or Joe's.
okay.
Whatever we're calling it.
Whoever it is.
Joe, Bob, Dick, Ray,
Somebody,
Meathead.
somebody's tired.
Okay,
Very good.
so, we set with that, Kristen?
Yes.
Understand that?
Yeah. Oh, what do we do for prices?
Prices. Now that's the same as last year?
Yeah, do you wanna do what we did last year, which I think we just went up like $2,
Yes.
$3.
What did
Did
you?
we add $1 to the price? Oh,
I think passenger tires were $3 last year.
What did you?
2?
I think we went 2, didn't we?
2?
So that was $1.50
Where's,
now.
where's the prices from last year?
Yeah.
Come on.
yeah.
If nothing's gone up, I mean, I would say we just level it,
Yeah, I
leave it
would.
the same. If Bob didn't go up,
If we covered our costs last year, like like the DPW, if they're collecting tires around town, they're bringing them over during that period of time, and we're having to cover that cost.
Yeah.
Right,
So that's what, you know,
Yep. so
Yeah.
$3. We did $3 for the passenger.
for light commercial, okay?
4, yeah, for like commercial truck tires, 10,
Okay,
super single, 12,
okay,
small tractor, 35,
okay,
backhoe, 80, loader, 210,
alright.
radial, 210,
Yeah, the prices are all the same.
yeah.
So if we covered last year, does the DPW, do they collect those tires during the year and they stack them and they bring them over?
Yeah. Yeah, they pick them up as they see them.
Yes.
Put them on the back end of their shed,
be a
Right.
big person, I don't mind if we do a favor for the DPW.
Oh, yeah, well, that we wanna do.
No,
They gotta pick them up around town.
They pay for their own tires.
The ones that they use, not the ones that collect.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever they pick up.
Yeah,
The heck, that's
I'd say
not
we're
their.
happy to take them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we gotta take those. We wanna take those. It's the reason why we're having a tire day.
Right,
Yeah.
so I would say,
So they'll just have to tell us what they're, he'll give me a list, John will give me a list.
Look at
Yes.
these tracks, what's that about?
on the tracks,
Did you say 180?
180, I don't think we ever gotten trucks.
I don't think so either.
Forklift 6,
all those little tiny ones, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, sounds good.
Do we have to make a motion
That
to,
wasn't too bad, was it?
Once I found it, it was good. It was good.
we found it quick too.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good, that was
You're
good.
right where it was.
Yeah.
Do we need a motion to keep the prices the same?
Yes, I make a motion.
Okay, a motion,
This is his last
I'll
year.
second it.
okay, a motion and a second, all those in favor? Aye. Payment of Faraday.
Check.
Okay, we'll go back to transfer station discussion. Bob, did you have something you wanted to discuss?
Well,
The board regarding the
I
transfer
did,
station?
yeah, I did send, Kristen some information here.
They all got it.
They did, okay.
Mhm.
So we all know what, kind of is going on up there.
Mhm.
I just want, I don't wanna go back to where we were
Agreed.
with the conflicts that we had. They start out as very small things, but then they turn into big things. And we're trying to completely eliminate that. For some reason, I've had a few of the people up there, and I'm not really gonna mention any names right now, but have mentioned that somebody wants to be the boss, and there are no bosses.
Correct.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
We are the boss, and that's the bottom line, and, the way I want them to look at it is, if somebody does something good up there, then they all did something good. And we praise all of them.
Correct.
It's not just one person, or two people, or three, or whatever. And I just want it to be that way. I wanna keep the people that we have on board. I think they're hard workers, they do a good job, but this bickering back and forth is what we have to eliminate.
Mhm.
And I wanna nip it right now, because I don't want this to go on anymore,
Agreed.
you know?
Yeah, we've been through that before.
No, I would hate
So-
for somebody to wanna leave up there, we've got good people to wanna leave
Yeah, we do,
because,
I
because
feel
of somebody
that
else,
way
I don't
too.
want one person to force other people to wanna be uncomfortable.
Right, or I don't want, I mean, there's just no reason for this, period. There's just no reason. Everybody kinda knows what they have to do, they know their assignments, they do them, the place looks great. I try to go up on a regular basis, I wish I could spend a little more time up there, but, maybe if they had some sand and a beach kinda situation, I probably would spend a little more.
We can make a motion.
But,
Little ice cream.
right, but that's about it, that's the gist of it, and, I like all the guys up there, they're good guys, just have to get along, that's the gist of it, really. I don't know if you people have any comments here, or,
I agree with you totally,
Yeah.
we've been through that before, we don't wanna
Yeah.
go there again.
basically,
Yeah, but there's-
that's what I ran into on Saturday, and, just so everybody's aware.
Mhm.
Because it's not me alone, I wanna include everybody on the board, so.
Yeah,
No, I don't know how many times the same thing has to be said, I mean, it's like talking to a bunch of little kids.
Yeah.
If there's an issue,
Mm.
a real issue,
Mm.
they should be coming to the board.
Exactly.
Put it in writing,
Put it in writing,
bring it to the board, and
Right.
we'll deal with
right.
that person.
There shouldn't
If
be
it's gotta be
arguments
done. No,
going on in front of the
absolutely
public,
not.
there shouldn't be
Absolutely
that kind of thing going on.
I mean, we got rid of, we
Yeah.
got rid of somebody
Yeah,
because of that.
Yeah, yeah. So I do wanna avoid that completely. I don't know if anybody
I
else
agree.
has anything to say, but,
No, I mean, if it comes down to having to get rid of somebody else, I'd hate to do that, but I guess
Yeah,
that would be
yeah,
the step that you have to take. We can't have
Yeah.
people arguing in front of the
Yeah.
public or arguing with the public or,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
I mean, you have to
We're
be
here,
civil and.
we're there to serve the public.
that's
We are here on the board, as board members, we're serving the public, the same thing at the transfer station.
That's
People
exactly
working there,
right.
we're serving the
Right.
public, so. service position, you gotta be friendly, you gotta, you know, be outgoing as much as possible and do your job.
I mean, I understand they're dealing with the public, it's not always an easy situation.
Trying to get
Agree with that?
recycling good.
Oh, yeah, I
and
mean,
keep the
I know that
tonnages
people
high,
do
it's a lot of
things
work.
that, you know, but, you know, how many times do we have to bite our tongue in class?
Right, right, and you know what, I'm not cutting open anybody's book
Joe,
bag
you
to
know.
see if they brought their Chromebook to class or anything, you know, so.
Right,
I
right.
mean, it's, certain things that you just,
Has
Can't
this
do.
been dealt with?
no, I think that's the night.
No, that has not been.
Mm.
So,
That's basically too what I'm talking about.
What is,
Uh,
a side note, what is this fence problem up there?
Oh,
Is
that, yeah, Ray had mentioned that,
Hole
about
in
the
the fence?
fence, and it was, yeah.
Was
I'm
there
glad
any-
he noticed it, because it's obvious that somebody must be coming in. What
Is it
they
like
did was if you go up there, you'll see, they put a hole in the fence so that, like, you could put your foot up and then go over the top.
So probably a kid.
And you can see the top of the fence is bent over. So somebody has probably been going in there, rolling, you know, finding their way in,
Is
and,
it- I wonder if it's a shortcut, or is there damage, are there
oh,
things
no,
missing? Is
no,
it-
the fence is bent over, and you can see that somebody tried to, was there anything missing, Ray?
Well, it looked like we had a pail of wire missing, one of the
Yeah.
garbage cans.
Well, nothing important, I mean, wire is
Just-
okay,
Well,
but,
well,
Scraps
if
of
it's one
copper or
pail,
something,
pail
is
of
that-
wire, I mean,
Yeah.
it's, but
yeah, you don't want people in there anyway.
you don't, correct.
You know, that's the bottom line, really, you know, we don't
So,
want people.
camera will solve that, let's get another camera
Exactly.
and
That,
catch
that area
somebody
right
doing
there
it.
is not,
Where?
Ray thought of that
Where is
idea
that?
about the camera, and I thought it was a good idea.
It
At
would
first
be
he
some-
said barbed wire, I said, I don't think that's such a good idea.
So we didn't catch anybody on the camera, then they were smart to avoid the camera, when they came through?
Well, either they know where the cameras are and how they're, you know, pointed and directed.
Where are they coming in, Bob?
You know, as you're driving up the hill,
Yeah,
okay, right on the side there, you'll see it. If you come up like 3/4 of the way up,
Right where the signs are.
yeah, right where the signs are.
Really?
About
Right?
3/4 up the hill.
Right in the front?
Well, you can see, like, there's like a passageway through the woods that you can
Oh,
come
okay.
right in from there. You know, so you should take a look at it, Joe, when you get a chance, or Corey. You go up there too, don't you, Dick?
So they've already put a hole in
Yeah,
that.
so you can probably take a look at it.
So to fix the fence, we would need a new section of fence, you can't, I mean, you can weave it in, but it's not easy to, it's a pain.
Yeah, I mean, the
in the butt
fence
to
can
chain
be
link
fixed, you know, fairly easy.
Without having
but-
to weave in any pieces, just
Yeah.
bending it back.
Yeah, you're the gate guy anyhow.
I
You
know.
all about it.
That's what I mean, weaving in pieces of chain link isn't always a fun thing.
No, it isn't.
You
It
gotta
isn't.
Sneak it together, stretch it
Yeah, come
together,
along or
get it
something,
loose
yeah.
enough so that you can work with the middle piece, it's a
Right.
pain in the butt,
Oh, yeah,
but,
well, so that's the situation there. As far as the other complaint, I don't really know, but I did read about it,
bring that up,
yeah.
so, I don't know if we can do it.
Oh,
we'll go into
on
executive session or
the
something.
camera.
Yeah, okay.
And even if it's addressed,
As
with
I've
a
said
private.
before, I'm impressed with the group.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time I've been up there, very helpful,
Oh, they're great, I mean,
all of
they
them.
know their job and they do the job well.
Even if that's
Bob,
addressed
can we
privately
go-
with.
Did anybody look at the tape to see if they saw anybody after?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
bring it up in the meeting.
You'd have to get the guy in
I
to,
wouldn't put it in the meeting.
No,
to read the tape.
Oh, yeah.
deal with this
If
after.
you can
Yeah.
get an idea when it happened,
Yeah.
but you don't really know
Absolutely.
because
Agreed.
it's just,
Yes.
like, I
So-
might have noticed
Anything
it, but
like
it might have happened even the week before.
Oh, like,
About him.
right, so you might have noticed that
Never
barrel
noticed,
missing,
right.
but the
They
barrel
were
could have been missing
specific
the week
of who it
before and
was.
nobody noticed it the week
So-
before?
Yeah, because we had very few barrels in there to start with.
So it could have been, that barrel could have been missing for 3 weeks before anybody noticed it?
Well, 2 weeks anyway,
At
because,
least 2 weeks?
yeah.
So you would have to check, what's that, I mean,
Yeah.
14 days worth of tape?
I know, but it's something that we should address, you know.
Yeah, I think so, that, the other ones that set up
Have
the,
them put another camera in.
Another camera, yeah.
I'm
Discuss
concerned
where.
that another camera, if we don't get a camera that date stamps, then where are we?
Well, we have 2 cameras and it seems to me that, if we can't go back and look at the, you know, unless we're noticing these things right away, another, cause that guy could be on camera.
Yeah.
We could have
yeah,
him.
Yeah, yeah.
He could have walked right in front, we could have a guy on camera sneaking through the fence and grabbing something and not even know it's on camera and we've got the cameras
But
there, so.
to the point, does the camera date
That I don't know.
How do
Normally
we
they
read what's
do,
on the
but-
camera?
I don't know if it's,
Special
if it's
equipment?
time
There's
dated,
somebody that comes and
stamped on it.
comes in.
Does it take special equipment?
I would imagine, I guess, I don't know.
Or you just dump it to your computer and read it out on your computer?
That
Yeah,
was,
it must be something like that.
is that camera set where it could pick up that location? We're just not looking at the film?
No,
And
no,
now,
It's not?
it's not direct, the other camera's not directed that way. no.
Okay.
One of them's toward the entrance, right?
Yeah,
The other one
yeah.
is towards the,
I mean, who would think of putting it there, you know? A
right.
Yeah.
camera
Yeah.
pointed in that direction.
Yeah, true.
It's really, when did you notice it, Ray?
Tuesday,
Okay, so before then you didn't notice it.
pardon me?
I say before then you didn't notice it.
No, because the other two worked last week.
Okay.
So it's definitely happened over the last previous
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Prior to that, it's not something you would have missed.
Well, where was the stuff that was stolen? Was it near,
It must have been up near the,
Isn't there a camera
the
there?
shed. Excuse me?
isn't there a camera that focuses up there or no?
On the sheds.
Probably, but we'd have to read that camera.
I mean, we should definitely have a camera at the shed.
It's probably that the cameras did pick him up.
So
or
can we have
pick up
somebody-
Whatever.
Do you think it's, oh, that whole barrel was missing?
That's what
I
it looks
guess,
like.
Yeah,
Because we only put the 4 ones in the shed.
okay, so it was just that one, yeah.
How much
Surprised
wire?
if they went to that effort, they should have, I mean, you'd think that they'd go into the shed, break in,
Yeah.
do whatever. But that wasn't the case for some
There
reason.
was no actual, like, real
Unless
damage.
somebody scared them away, I don't know, that's a possibility too.
I just wonder whether it's kids that,
Could
if
be
it's kids,
Could be,
maybe even taking the returnables
yeah,
out of
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Cause I mean, there's so many returnables that are thrown away.
oh yeah,
That's so true.
that's for sure. Right,
I'd like to know how you read the camera. That's what I'd like to know.
We don't read it, do we? We have the,
We can give you the number
security
of the people
company.
that installed it. You could give them a
They
call.
read that
and-
once before for us, didn't they? We had something needed to be
It
looked at.
sounds like the perfect moment to delegate something.
Eagle.
Eagle.
We have a
installed
volunteer.
it.
So call Chris and he would,
Yeah.
he would,
So I think maybe that's a step we should take, is maybe
Call
we
him
should,
as-
we should
Call-
figure
call
out if we
Chris,
can look at that tape. Tuesday he noticed it, so it would be like the
no,
week
but
before.
the thing to ask him also is about the date, because
Yeah.
that would definitely be important.
Yes.
Is that Chris that does that?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, that's,
So he was- yeah,
that's,
he-
that's his company.
Yeah, okay, yeah, cause he does all that stuff a lot,
Yeah.
he's always
He's
been
done that
involved
for
in
years.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then maybe he'll be able to get to the bottom of it. Very good. That other thing's gonna have to be addressed. Executive session.
I just have to,
Okay, good.
all right. All right, next we'll move on to bills and warrants. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of money.
$700
This time
to
of
mow,
year. Flu season?
To what?
That is this
mow that transfer
Yeah.
station,
Yeah.
$700.
Full field.
Yeah.
How many acres is that?
You do it for less?
I bet we can get it done for less.
If
I
you
don't-
wanna
I
look
don't know
into it,
that.
do it, because, I mean, we've,
We've looked,
I'm sure you
we've
have.
looked,
we
so.
looked up, yeah.
Wow, just seems
It's a
tough.
tough, listen
It's
to
the hill.
areas, yeah.
It's the hill, nobody wants to do that hill. It's steep and it's,
Oh, you're talking about the mowing?
Landfill, yeah.
Yeah, landfill.
You know somebody that can do it for less?
I don't know. It just struck me as,
And
wow.
that
Who would want to
be
do it?
insured and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be insured. It's
That
not
is-
somebody,
See, you don't know the hill.
Well, you're right, yeah.
yeah,
Maybe you should take a walk out there sometime. And
Yeah, just
you'd
glance at
probably
that.
think a little different.
Well, I watched him mow.
It's
right?
steep.
So it-
Yeah, no, not that part. You don't see the hill.
the
back.
I'm
downside.
talking about the hill.
The
where we used to back up and throw the trash.
Oh,
That part of the hill.
Winter. Yeah, it's for my kids.
That was a lot of fun. when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
that's
I
the,
remember
Oh,
that.
that's, you don't wanna put them down, no, no, no,
How does this work?
not a good idea.
That was for
Very
the
steep.
guy, no.
Well, it used to be a big hole.
the dynamic
I used to
was
love
like-
going to the dump and hucking the bags back up and just hucking as far as you
I know,
can.
yeah.
Good
do you
pastime.
go out to bid for the mowing?
No,
Oh,
don't have to.
am I stepping on sacred territory here?
No, it's just
No.
that,
Why are you saying that?
No.
If you know somebody that'd like to put in
No,
a
I-
bid,
I just-
Anybody can come
No,
forward
no.
if they
Yeah,
have a,
anybody
if they want to do it and offer to do it for less, they have to be insured, they, you know,
Oh, yeah.
they
yeah,
wanna tackle that.
I mean,
So how many times a year do you do that for 700?
It's too, well,
2, 3
That's-
times?
No more than two.
it's twice,
Pretty much
two
like
mowings a
a
year.
first cut and a second cut. Yeah. Pretty much you do it once when it's bad June.
most people with any kind of equipment, if you spend any time on a job like that, just moving the equipment and working the equipment is $1,000,
Yeah.
period,
Mhm.
bottom line,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
It's a lot of heavy duty equipment and a lot of
Yeah,
insurances and there's a
yeah,
risk
yeah.
factor there.
Getting
I would
stuck on
say
the
so.
hill.
That's
Not stuck, but
No,
if
stuck
something
isn't
were to
the
happen and
thing you're worried about.
that thing went over, cause it could,
Yeah, you
that's a steep incline.
Oh yeah. You don't wanna be caught slipping on that and have to roll back down the hill
I
in
say
reverse. I mean, it's a-
700, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds, if you look at the
Yeah, we're sort
area
of
that's
a,
to be mowed, that's,
I don't wanna say we're a rock and a hard place on that hill,
I
so.
wouldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, no.
Mhm. Alright.
Everybody all set with those, those warrants?
Yep.
Move on to the tonnages.
Tonnages look very
They're
good.
looking good,
They
yeah.
did, yes,
Yeah, I was very impressed. It was good. Good month.
August, yeah,
They're right up there,
yeah, that's,
excellent.
let's see, those double digits. Really good.
What's the 1Bs? Oh, that was when the bees were in the dumpster?
Must have been,
Yeah,
yeah.
it says 1Bs.
I was there.
That was, yeah, there,
Yeah, that's why it was low.
Bees were.
Is that on the can?
Oh, that's what-
Were they?
Oh,
couldn't use it?
yeah.
What, did they just make a nest in it or something, or did somebody
No.
come and dump something?
People are afraid they're gonna get stung.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to dump it,
That was
Yeah,
right
we
there in
dumped
that,
it.
you know, at the end of that real hot stretch.
yes,
And somebody said that, one of you guys said that somebody threw a honeycomb in the,
And that was in 30 yarder.
and then it just attracted.
attracted all the bees.
Yeah, they just came. That whole
Yeah, that's
place
the
was
one they dumped.
infested with bees.
Yeah, they got rid of
Yeah,
that.
they had it.
Smelled
Yeah,
it
they
out.
got rid of
Last Tuesday.
Wow.
At least it wasn't a bear.
That's better, right. Yeah. Oh, boy.
There was still plenty of bees there last Tuesday.
Oh, I mean, there will be, no matter, there's nothing you can do about that, isn't it? Right,
It's
all
the first
all
time I've ever
bees,
seen that on the tonnages here.
yeah. Bees.
with a caveat, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So we wouldn't forget.
Yeah,
That's why
that's
it's
good,
low.
that's good to have it there.
Very good,
Jar of memory as to why.
right. Besides that, they look great. That's really, that's
Yeah, those were
all of
awesome numbers, like to see them like that.
Yeah.
12. Whew, that's a good.
Kristen, what did Steve, oh, I'm sorry. Are we
Well,
going
we're
on?
all set with it. Move on to the, approval of minutes of 8/27/18.
Did you speak to Steve about the?
Not yet, no. He got back last week from vacation, I'll email him this week.
Oh, the state tabled that again too. I saw that on the news the other day. For another month. And any regulations involved with, on establishments, I saw that got tabled again for another month, so they're still not, the state regs still haven't, they haven't figured out their end yet, so. I think we got a little bit of time before it trickles down to us, but.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye. I was waiting for you, Joe, to say that.
Thanks.
It worked. Hello. Alright. Next, we have old new business, open session for topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance of this meeting. Anybody have anything they wanna bring up? Old-
I bought a composter and installed it at my house, and it just struck me as it was so easy to do, but awkward to get from here to there. That if somebody wanted one in town, that I would volunteer to truck it to their house and set it up. Some senior type person, handicapped, no pickup, that kind of person.
Good, wonderful,
Excellent,
yeah,
yeah.
thank you, that's a service.
Sure, that's good.
We'll do that.
That would probably be through you, Kristen, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see no problem with that.
How are we selling? The sales of those going,
Trickles,
just trickles,
Yeah.
the way it's always been?
yeah.
What type are they? Are they
It's on
just
the hallway, it's.
Yeah, it's the black.
Earth machine.
Yeah, the black,
Yeah, yeah.
so, yeah,
I have one squished in my bag.
yeah, me too.
I have a door pile, that's
You want it, Joe?
No, I made a pile down in the woods, and I dig in that thing
Yeah,
constantly.
that's what I do now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just, and it comes out great.
It does, it's
Yeah.
darn rich.
It really is, yeah.
Black.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Soil.
yeah.
Finally got a tractor to my house last year and I was able to roll over my pile in the back and, oh, the soil
But Joe,
underneath that was
We're
phenomenal.
talking about
Wow.
old people, we're not talking about us.
Great soil.
So there is one more thing we would like to discuss.
Yes.
It's about needle disposal. We received several calls, and I even got an email this week from the new resident. People ask us what should they do with the medical needles they use
Yes.
for like insulin injections. In the past, we were directing them to Northbridge, right?
Yeah.
But this is not an
Not
option
taking
anymore.
anymore.
So not too long ago, like a couple weeks ago, there was a question posted in email to the all like nurses, what they do with what their towns are doing with the needles.
Needles,
And
okay.
I printed out some responses from surrounding towns, like a couple towns, what they said, what they are doing. So you can take a look and we can just, see what other towns are doing for this. And many of them, like have like a kiosks set up by the police department or by the fire department, or they, Webster, we collect the shops for town residents. Dudley Police Department provides collection service for us. We also provide any residents who wants to be with BD Safe Clips needles, clipping and storage device. It is about the size of tip, lighter, and holds up to 1,500 needles. So they all have something in place. We don't.
My wife just recently she broke her leg and she was taking injections. And we took it up to the fire department, they accepted it.
They accept it, but we have to make this known to the residents. People don't know where to go with this. There's no information provided to them.
We should have something.
We should
Yeah,
have
I
something
don't
in
know
place.
where
Sharps container or something available?
Yes, but when the sharp containers are get full, they have to bring it somewhere.
Yes.
And you know what, if we don't provide something, I'm afraid that it may end up
We
in
have
the
some more, huh?
transfer station.
Exactly, that's what
And that's what somebody will do, they'll hide it in a black
Yes,
trash bag and just
Because
throw
I don't
it.
We
think
did
people
that.
will be,
We had a
driving
terrible
with the
needles.
container that size to
Box,
Worcester.
they came,
How
boxed
many
them
people
up.
will do that?
No.
Many of them are really
It has
sick,
to be
people with
Yes.
diabetes.
This is something we wanna make easily available and
Absolutely.
known
Yes.
to the public. public, there's an easy way to dispose of these, because like you said, they'll throw them in the trash, they'll throw them in the, off the side
And
of the road.
especially nowadays with the use of
You
needles,
know,
and
like
you
even
don't
this
know,
week, I got an email, and we get like phone calls every,
dangerous thing.
you know, a couple times a month, people asking us, and we, before we were directing them to Northbridge. But this is what we got from Northbridge today,
Yeah.
because Kristen
Yeah.
emailed Northbridge today and asked them like, what are you doing?
So
And
they,
they're not,
So
They
they're
bought a
doing a
kiosk.
kiosk?
Yes, they
Yeah,
have their own, and this
yeah.
is what
Where
they
are
are
they
doing.
putting the kiosk?
it's in the health department, I
Oh, it
believe.
is, yeah.
Yes,
Some people put in the health department, some people have in the police department.
yeah,
So it costs $3,500 to buy it, and then you
Yes.
have to
Yeah.
pay $65 per box, and about every other month.
we
That's
had
exciting.
once, you know, after flu clinic, we had like tons of needles from several years when I first came here. So we did contacted like waste, like company, like medical waste from Sutton, and great service. The man came here. It was like $60, and he packed everything in huge like boxes. He taped it to get from here.
that was the place on Putnam Hill,
It was from Sutton. Like I have, because he just contacted me recently. Like, do you have some needles for me? Again, you know, do you want me to come and pick up? Yes, we don't right now because we got rid of it, everything what was in the storage, and we had like boxes.
That was
of it.
from us though, right?
Yes, yes, from,
Yeah.
that was from flu clinics,
Right.
but it was from several years
I think if we
accumulated.
were collecting from people, we'd be getting a lot, because we get a lot of calls on
Yeah, I'm
to do
sure,
their
we
meals.
would, yeah, that's,
The only problem
Sure.
I have is the upfront cost.
Right,
Now, I've been in shops that I run, and I've had to buy shop collection boxes, and they aren't anywhere near that cost.
oh, this is just when I got today, I mean, I
You
haven't
know what,
looked
doesn't
into
mean
it
we
yet.
have to go this
Yeah.
way, we have to find the
Right.
best option, you
So
know.
that's
$5.
probably not just
I
a
know,
small
this
red
is what they
sharps
did,
box,
you
that's
know,
probably a,
Yes, this is
Yeah,
what they
it's
did,
gotta be a
but
fancy.
right, a barrel where you open it and the, probably
One
the
way,
sharps box is
just, you know.
inside of that, and
Yeah.
it's probably just a kiosk, it's a,
Would,
Yeah.
would the fire department be willing to take on this?
we will have to, you know, like I said, we would
Yeah.
have to contact them and talk
I
to them.
just found out that we used to send them to Northbridge, that recycling center,
Mm-hmm.
and they always took them, I just found out that they don't take, someone
they're
called
not
me and said
taking
they're not
them
taking them anymore, I said, oh.
Yeah.
Because what they would do is Blackstone Board of Health would have to go to pick up all the sharps, and personally, they drove them to Worcester
Oh,
to dispose of them.
I see.
So it was gonna be a lot of work.
yeah, yeah. Do they have anybody that picks up? You know, I mean,
collection, a collection company or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah,
collection
this one we
company
used
or
before.
something?
Yes, we do have it, they came and picked them up from us,
okay,
this is company from Sutton.
okay, oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes,
talking
yes,
about.
and we paid like $60, I think, for the amount we had, and we had like a lot,
Yeah,
because we had like those big containers,
Containers,
just
yeah.
one way, so some of them were like just halfway full, but they just took them. And we had large empty containers, like sharp containers, the state
uh-huh,
provided us for free with a big, so we have them. But, you know, like when people come, even when they come couple, you cannot open the container and dump them to, you know, to my huge sharp container. You know,
Yes.
like I'm not gonna play with this,
no,
Yes.
you know,
no,
so
no.
they have to be in container already. Some, you know, like some,
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm,
tight.
Yeah.
some,
Cover.
yes,
Yeah.
jar or something
Yeah.
with the lid.
right.
So, you know, I have to dispose the whole container, I can take container from them, but I cannot
Yeah,
just
no, that makes
transfer
sense.
them.
No,
yes.
no,
I don't think we want you to either.
Thank you.
I spoke to Blackstone, and they have trash pickup at Allied Waste, and they pick up people's from their house.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so she said call them, and maybe they can do other things for towns that don't have trash pickup.
but it's difficult for, you know, people that are diabetic
I
and,
know. Right, and
they
a lot of them.
they really shouldn't be paying somebody to get rid of their, because
No,
that's
we should-
survival for these
right.
people, you know?
And CVS used to take them when I first started with.
One of the towns, like Auburn has a CVS, like,
Yeah,
but you know, it's local, they have a CVS in the town, we don't have a CVS in town.
Correct.
And I think I called Uxbridge, and they didn't take them before, I doubt they take them now.
Yeah, they have some orange,
How does,
but they have also the box, we also
how
have a.
does Dr. Miller get rid
Yes,
of
okay,
his?
that's a
I
good
don't know.
question.
I could call Dr. Miller's
Yeah,
office.
that's a good question.
Yeah,
he may have his own
That
kiosk.
reminds me of the old drugstore down center of town.
Yeah,
You used to
Good
pay
old
our
days.
electric bill down there
yeah,
too.
I remember that.
lynches,
Yeah, when it went over $15, you go, what?
yeah.
Lynches are.
15.
Yeah, 15.
I have 500 this.
Yeah,
Did
well,
everybody have a
tell
big
me
bill?
about it.
Everybody did,
Yeah.
Like,
I had a bill like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
mine was 183. I've never, ever, ever, ever been over 70 bucks. And all of a sudden it's 183.
And mine was
yeah. Ours is
over
up
300.
there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is
over
crazy.
500.
Energy, we should've gotten into energy.
ACs.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
Somebody should've told me in the nineties, get into energy now.
That was the highest
Well, it's hot.
I ever remember it in
What
my
was yours, Steve?
about
Plumbers are
350.
going straight up.
Oh, plumbers.
Normally it's like,
Straight up.
if I go over 2, it's
I
odd.
just got an email today in my email begging
yeah.
for plumbers up in
We do
Lawrence
too, actually.
That takes a
because
lot.
of the
We do, but
gas
still it's gone up a lot.
explosion.
Oh,
I bet.
So they're willing to, anything you want, come on
No,
up.
we have oil. Oil, electric,
So, sorry.
we have, well, the biggest, I think it was the ACs that really,
Yeah.
I don't remember this, they were running around the clock for
Yeah, I
weeks.
don't
I
use
do
it,
have
but we have a few fans. Still.
Have we finished the discussion on shops?
Have we? And so we know what we're gonna do with it.
Oh, well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
call Dr. Miller. That's all I
Okay,
know.
find out what he did,
That's a good
okay?
idea, Dr. Miller,
Yeah.
that would be a good idea.
So he probably has some company picking up from her.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Sharp containers, they just replace their containers probably.
Yeah.
So if that kiosk ends up being the best solution we can come up with, then I would still be in favor of having a discussion about that. Because
Yeah.
I think it's more important that we have that service than that we tell people,
Absolutely.
sorry, I don't know what to do, we're only the health
Well, we
department.
have no place to direct
Yeah,
them now.
no, that's.
Would there be any
It's
funds
critical.
available?
So
It's critical.
I think we need to be
Would
able
there be any
to
state
provide-
funds available for like the kiosk or
You know
something
what,
like that for?
I can find out, I can talk to the ladies who
That's a
usually
good
are helping us
You would
and
think
ask them
so.
what do you want.
Especially with the
From the
opioid epidemic.
Right.
Yes.
Would that be Sarah?
Sarah, we're gonna talk to Sarah,
Or
you know,
maybe
and
Eileen.
we're gonna talk to Sarah and we're gonna also talk to Diane to see if there is something. So I'll
Yeah,
definitely will check all the options before
Yes.
we
Reimbursement
go and
funds or something.
that would be, the last thing for me.
Got the best case solution,
Yeah.
if you can.
But I think we
if
need to
the
find
money's
something,
there.
if it means we spend $3,500, then I
No,
think that's what we have to do.
we are at the point when we have to.
Yeah, I
Because like I said, before we had the place to direct them, now we don't.
I think we need to provide them, and I didn't even really like that solution, but it was a temporary solution that was
It's
working.
obvious
but
that
I-
other towns are addressing it. so-
They are,
I don't
yeah.
think
And
that was
even
very
like
fair.
there, they said they have something in transfer station where the third party operator disposes the sharp
right,
containers. People
right.
bring the transfer station, they have a container.
Yeah, as long as they have a container
Yeah,
and
oh,
they're
they
not,
And you can
They
put it
must
into the
somehow
kiosk or
change
something, nobody has to touch,
anything
mess with
else.
it.
But we
Right.
have them put in the screwed up containers,
right,
laundry detergent bowl rather than a coffee can and bring them to our transfer
And
station.
then throw it in one of those one-way boxes and then
Mhm.
a
That would
certified
be the
guide.
cheapest
that
option.
would be, yes.
If they,
The bear
if they
example.
bring their own in these screw top containers and they drop it in this box, what does it go in that is then taken out?
Probably nothing,
You know
probably the
what, now
cardboard
you
box.
collect them like somewhere, like in some container, like big, I don't know, box, I never been to the transfer station, I have to visit today. And they call probably once a month, they call someone like this individual from Sutton and he comes and packs everything himself. He, like in the boxes, tapes them,
Probably
and
uses
take
Kevlar gloves
yes, oh, he has like, he's,
and
this is
pretty
his
well
job, you know?
suited, right, he
This is what
doesn't,
he does.
sure, he doesn't.
Suit
want-
of honor.
Yeah, I'm sure, nobody wants to get pricked with a needle, you don't know
No,
where
no,
it came
he-
from.
We probably couldn't put it at a transfer station because now you got people coming in that don't have a
Right,
sticker.
that's
and
true.
There'd be another,
True.
we'd have to set it up in
That's
here.
another
Yes.
We would
good
have to
point,
set it
Joe.
up here.
I think the
And
police.
Police
our
station.
parking lot is pretty big, like by the building, we could maybe
Yeah.
do something, like close, even,
There's gotta
Oh,
be
the
a spot.
kiosk
Fire
is-
station,
yeah.
fire station has a lot of space, we could,
Fire
Yeah,
station.
but should it be monitored, because people could throw pretty much anything in there?
yes, somewhere like where is the
So it
camera or
really
something,
has to be
way
monitored.
little, by the police station, they would be maybe afraid, just outside the
True,
windows.
yeah.
Right on, yeah.
The reason I
hope so.
asked if you were finished is there's an ancillary issue of drug disposal. Do we have a facility in town for disposing of unwanted medications or other drugs?
there's definitely not.
No,
Yeah, that's the worst thing you can do.
Webster takes them, I usually, when
No,
people
because
ask
it gets
Webster,
into
police will
the
take them.
ground and,
Oh, yeah.
oh, yes.
They set one up in the Mendon Police Station. just
How do you
a
deal with that?
drop down box, drop them in. Franklin does the same thing,
Did it
drop down box,
expire?
drop them
You
in,
know what,
and they
what,
take care of the disposal.
usually,
But because it's medications and other
it's
drugs,
not like
it has to be
antibiotics
under
and,
lock and key.
Right.
they say like usually people mix them with the,
So if we don't have a
Usually-
facility anywhere
Yes.
close by,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
so
kill
just,
the,
yes,
people.
so no one had to charge it, like,
Yeah.
when I was working the
That's the
facility,
only place
what
I
we
have
were doing,
found so
just
far,
crushing
they'll
them
take
and
anybody's.
mixing with there's a,
The seeds
in
to
the
the-
plastic bag,
web
and
is
throw
a-
it.
Turning to,
Yes.
Drugs, I don't know, I keep
The-
all mine in drawer.
Right, goes off the wheel grader and.
But it's too
Right.
bad
yes,
that
I
that
guess,
we'd
yes.
have to go to another town.
Yeah, what else can you do?
Then it just
Yeah,
goes
the
up
police used to
there
do
and
it.
we don't worry about it
Shouldn't
anymore.
flush it
The
down the
police used to
toilet.
do a day where they would
That's
collect
not a good
medication,
thing.
one day a
Plus it
year.
can cause havoc if you have a septic system.
Oh, that
That's
Another
something to
thing.
talk to them about.
Yeah.
Talk to the police.
All the bacteria
Talk about that,
See
too.
if they can help.
Yeah, you don't wanna
It is
shove
in
any
the
antibiotics
department
into your
issue.
septic
So they said
system.
finish them,
Controlled
don't throw them away.
Right,
When you
right,
get them.
right,
And maybe they
absolutely.
do and I don't know about it, they didn't before, maybe they do now.
Yeah, Mendon didn't until I
But it
asked the
was mostly
question.
the pain medication,
Okay.
that's a good question to ask.
It's
Yeah.
like pain medication, crushing and mixing with, and someone always had to witness, but mixing with the soft detergent. So we can just, go over this and see like what other towns are doing, maybe
Yes,
one of the options would work for us.
Yeah, I would say we gotta do something though.
I agree. That needs to be addressed, so we do. Alright, is there anything else?
Yep. So Jean sent a memo saying that the special town meeting's coming up and if there's anything, budgets that need to be adjusted. And I think ours does for landfill mowing,
Oh, yes.
so this would be the time,
It has to be adjusted.
because we
Is
used,
they mowed again?
we mowed again already,
Yeah.
so we're gonna have to mow again in the spring. So I asked her, is now the time for this, and she said, yes, do it now, like, just put it in, so is that okay?
Yeah, I need to do that.
So that's 700. My next question, I need more filing cabinets. So I had.
More?
We'll just get some boxes.
Really?
Box-
Okay. So I had two empties, cause I just moved things, packed things,
Mhm.
everything's been moved, and I still am tight, and that's what two new ones. I got everything filed from the top.
Okay.
But if I could have two more, I'd be good for a few years.
Where are you gonna put them?
Well, I'd have to, I don't even care.
This thing
I'll
ought to
see.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah, that can go.
you're right.
It is
Yeah.
never,
You're
ever
right.
been used.
You're right again,
It's
Joe.
there.
But you know what,
And
something
that
can be
ought
done
to-
here also,
Yeah.
because that's side
Yeah.
desk,
Right.
just
What is
enough,
it
no
there
one
for?
used this desk, there's just a
What's in it? What's in it?
thumbs on it. So something can be rearranged here, there too.
Do you want that cabinet at home?
Do you know how many people want that cabinet?
That looks
People
like something
beg
that was in the
here,
principal's
like in for their
office.
office.
You want it?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
Jean wants it.
Well, I'm in favor of giving
Take
it.
bidders. I'm good.
Alright, regardless of that, what about my filing cabinets? So
Yeah,
they're
No, but-
expensive,
Yeah.
And
but
we
if I
got them
could,
for free before, we got a couple for free,
I
right?
did get a couple for
From the
free.
state.
How'd you manage that?
State.
Oh,
For
okay.
filing
From-
state
all right,
stuff.
make a deal with Gene.
I did try that already, I tried that already, she
You
didn't
can
go
have
for it.
that.
That's what I told her.
Free file
She
cabinet.
didn't go for that. But I can get one for the transfer station, cause we have more room there. But I really need two. So
So
if
you
I
need to
can
buy
figure out a
three.
way to do it through the Board of Health budget now, can I order it?
If it's needed, then yeah,
I would, and I'd get rid of that thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
if somebody
Get
wants
rid
it,
of that.
Yeah.
yeah, George said, come and take it.
How's
Only
that?
piece of furniture we
Does
had.
this,
Works for me.
does this fit
That's what
under
you wanna call
supplemental
it,
budget
yeah.
for three
Because the
file
rest is like
cabinets?
metal.
Oh, I thought you wanted one transfer station.
No, one I can get through the
Through the transfer
through
station.
the transfer station funds.
Supplemental, go in for a supplemental and
Yeah.
buy three.
Yeah,
The files are used by the transfer station.
yeah.
We're using them
Yeah.
for those purposes as well,
Right.
part of this office. So,
Okay, and I have
Makes
one more. The inspections were completed
ooh,
at the transfer station landfill last
Awesome.
Thursday. I haven't heard anything, but they were done, so
good,
check that off our list.
Phew. Alright.
good, good.
Yeah, it's been hanging over.
Waiting on that.
Yeah.
Good.
And that's all I have.
To have.
Excellent. I can't wait to see that report.
All right, I'm gonna hand in my resignation to be effective October 1st.
resignation.
I don't know if I wanna accept this.
No more?
You know, Joe, I understand, but it's with a heavy heart I accept this. You have put in incredible amount of time and years,
Oh, and the experience
service
too.
in here,
Experience and knowledge.
the effort you put over the years, and like I say, the knowledge. There's someone I definitely have looked up to and tried to learn from as my time on this board. It's
Time to turn the page.
yes, understood.
But I'd be, you know, whenever I'm here, I'd be glad to be available for any help you might need. But I just
appreciate
think
call
that you'd be better off with someone who could be here all year long, and not just a half a year. And I
Okay.
didn't like other things that went on here, and
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
and I think that should be discussed, because the board should be doing interviewing.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
agree with that.
Yes,
I mean, that's, the way you got appointed is absolutely wrong.
I agree.
I agree. The way they handled that was
I was
not.
surprised,
In the-
I
in
wasn't
the-
interviewed here first, and a recommendation sent forward.
In the
That's how it's
past,
always been done.
that's the way it's been done. We put an ad in the paper, people that are interested
Yeah, that's what
apply.
I read.
They come in and interviewed, and then a recommendation is made to them. The way they handled it was absolutely wrong.
Sitting there at the table, you recognize that right away. I
Yeah,
almost got up and left.
yeah.
That was just not.
It was not done
It's
right.
not the first time, and it's probably won't be the last, unfortunately. Because
Well-
I've experienced it too,
Yes, you have.
yeah.
Yes,
And I have.
it's not.
But it's been my pleasure to work with the board and all the other departments.
Thank you, Joe.
Yes.
That's all I
Part
can
of
say,
everybody,
Slade. I'm
yeah.
gonna miss you, I'll tell you that.
Uh,
No, not that you're going anywhere, not that you're, you know, leaving us, but
I can still call you, right? When I need help.
Yes, you can.
Alright.
Perhaps we had an
Still.
open line all winter long.
I know. I know.
I know,
Keep that line open.
yeah, I know.
Definitely all very appreciative.
Yeah, that's
I know,
for
you've
sure.
always been very supportive and
That's
helpful.
I think if you look just at your comments tonight, you'll see how much you'll be missed.
He always had great ideas,
It's-
for sure.
It's every meeting, it's between meetings, it's day to day, in and outs of the Board of Health.
See,
It's
Joe makes a good point about your hiring or your place in your position, and that it's not even fair to you. Because we all have this bitter feeling, and not necessarily against you personally,
I understand.
but against the way it happened.
yes,
And that's the way, you know, if it felt kind of like cold to you, it wasn't directly at you, as much as it was, just this whole,
I'm a big boy.
no, I know you are, but I'm just saying.
But I recognize
yeah,
that
it wasn't
sitting in
fair
there
to
during
you,
the interview,
right, it wasn't fair to
and I
you,
recognize it here too, and there's
Yeah.
nothing I can do with that. Either I'm here or I'm not.
yeah,
I was very surprised, you know, when I watched that and how it went down.
right.
It was not comfortable watching it.
I'm not gonna tell you how to run your ship, but I'd have been all over
Yeah.
that.
That's exactly the way I
Yeah.
feel.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
It's
bored.
too bad that we're losing good people, because it's not easy to,
That's the pressure on.
to deal with a lot of the issues, and plus the experience, you know?
Yeah.
No, it's a good thing you're a phone call away. That's the joke.
What was that number again?
774,
555.
We know where you live, so that's,
Oh, man.
That Florida address is what again?
I know that,
Yeah,
so
you know
we're
that
all
one?
set.
Bummed out, man.
All right. Anything else?
No, notes pretty much tops it.
Okay, so we just have to set a new date for the next meeting then. That
Are you
would be,
going to,
29th is the last Monday.
are you gonna do an executive session to deal with this?
not executive session.
Okay.
29th. 29th is the last Monday.
It's
29th.
right around Halloween, right? Halloween is,
Must be on
Did,
Wednesday.
did we have to do anything before then to figure out, to finalize tire week or anything, or is that
No.
fine to just do 29th?
Oh, just.
We
oh,
finalized the dates
find
on
out-
that,
Just
correct?
find out
Okay.
where you wanna
So
dump
that, so
them.
that's fine, alright.
Yeah, we just have to
alright,
find out how we're gonna actually
Okay.
handle it. We know
Right.
the dates on that.
So we don't need to have a
it's the
discussion before
29th
that.
Halloween, is that?
30th, 31st is Halloween.
30th?
31st is Halloween.
Yeah, that's a Wednesday. So we'll be
Yeah.
good there.
Okay.
So. Now we're October 29th. I think we've handled everything, so
Okay.
if anybody wants to make a motion,
Make a motion that we adjourn.
motion.
Second.
Motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.